Lockdown membawa dampak psikologis. Pada episode kali ini saya berbincang-bincang dengan seorang psikoanalis dan juga International Dynamic Coach, Mozhdeh Mohammadzade. Beliau berasal dari Iran yang saat ini tinggal di Jerman. Dalam perbincangan kami, beliau mengungkapkan ada tipe-tipe orang yang nyaman berada dalam kondisi lockdown. Beliau juga mengungkapkan kiat-kiat ataupun tips-tips bagaimana caranya kita juga bisa merancang nyaman dalam kondisi ini. Saya Rino Sadanur dari Indonesia Real. Selamat menikmati.
We have to see in general how is our relationship with life. See someone who get used to the life in a really passive way. For example, he had to study and then he had to go to work, and then in the study time educational system for him decide that what he has to know, what he has to read, what he has to talk about. And in the workplace, a boss has to tell him that what you have to do. So when something happen like this, that you have to see, you have to face with your limitations. So now there is no boss that tell you how you have to spend your life. There is no teacher that order you what you have to read, what you do not have to read. Now you have to sit in an active place. People who are already take charge of their life, they get responsible about their life, they pass this situation much easier. But at the same time, I could see some passive people that they always like wherever other people goes, they go that way too. They do not make their own decision. They do not get the responsibility of life. For them, it's harder. That the lockdown is over. When they come back to the work, also they have problem. I would say it depends on how you live your life, how you live your life with corona or without corona. Are you taking the responsibility of life?
All right. So again, it's very interesting, very, it's very challenging thought that you mentioned. There are at least two types of person. One is a very, maybe you say, independent and able to adapt to a different situation, and another one is very dependent, used to take orders, don't lead the life by themselves, but they like to be told what to do. And these second group of people would be difficult, most probably, to adapt to the situation where you have to stay at home and not going anywhere and no one is telling you, right? So that means, if I would say, if those people who are independent, like entrepreneurs or leaders, they most probably they have a better chance to adapt to the situation than those people who used to take orders in the office or be subordinates. Is it correct?
Totally. Because you, when you are you take the responsibility of life, that means you are more sensitive about life. That means that the programs do not change you. If situations outside has to tell me what I have to do, am I a slave of that situation or not?
Very interesting, very interesting. So that means you really have to observe yourself from the distance and see how you react towards this, right? So you mean that those people who are, I would say, victims of situations, would be difficult for them to adapt to a different situation, changing situation, than those people who are independent and know what they want, and they are not victim, but they use the situation to expand themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. I like the word you used, victim. Victim is equal slave.
Okay. Now, maybe this is the last question, because we have around 2 or 3 minutes time. What kind of advice would you give to those people who are experiencing the lockdown right now? What kind of, let's say, tips, maybe a very practical tips that you should give them so that they are at peace with the situation?
I think it's good to challenge themselves and ask themselves, that if they come out of the lockdown and they want to see themselves during lockdown, can they see themselves as a person who actively managed his own life, her own life, and could come a better version of herself and himself out of this lockdown, or they were a slave of the situation? Which one they want to choose?
But then again, depends on the character of each person, right? I mean, coming back to this two extreme, one is a passive one, another one is a creative and independent one, and takes control of their own life. This would be these people will be easier for them to go to the new normal or the new situation after the lockdown, right? So maybe for the passive persons, they might have a long-term effect of these experiences.
That's true, but being passive or active is not something that genetically, just fundamentally in us, and we cannot change it. With these simple questions, with sitting and doing like 10 minutes of meditation, with talking with someone who is actually like a psychoanalyst, like a coach that went this way already, they can look at themselves again and they can change. They can bring up a new personality for themselves.
That means they have to get external help, professional external help, to adapt to the new situation then.
External help, and also getting a little closer to the life. What you eat, you just check what I'm eating. Just look at what I'm eating. What is the taste of that? What I'm doing during this time. Get a little closer to the life instead of making some rules or cliche or channel, and you just live your life in the channels. Just feel yourself. Look at what you think. Every day, 10 minutes. It can go to 6 minutes of meditation too, but 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just sit with yourself and check yourself. Ask some questions about yourself.
That means you have to explore what you are doing daily in this case.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much for this interesting discussion. Hopefully we all will be able to adapt ourselves to the new normal.
Semoga perbincangan tadi membawa manfaat kepada Anda. Jika memang demikian adanya, jangan lupa subscribe, share, and like. Saya Rino Sadanur dari Indonesia Real.